21 movies into the Marvel Cinematic Universe, and now here we are, finally, Captain Marvel. That means the MCU is now 21 years old, that means it's eligible to drink, and after a movie like this, I think it might need one. Hey everybody, welcome to Wright at the Movies. Are you looking for reviews on movies? You've come to the right place. Today I'm talking about Captain Marvel. And who is Captain Marvel? She's an intergalactic superhero slash Air Force pilot slash quip machine slash 90s nostalgia person. She's finally got a movie. She's been kind of kicking butt lately in comics, and they've decided to finally give her a movie. She's being played by Brie Larson, which is perfect. Hot off movies like Room and Scott Pilgrim. I've always been a big fan of her, and now she's playing a superhero, and a really, really cool one at that. She's from the Kree army, and they're fighting the Skrull army. It's this big intergalactic war out in outer space, a million miles away from us. She crashes on Earth in the mid-1990s with amnesia, and now we've got a movie. And yes, it's the first female-led Marvel movie. And that's really huge. That's a big deal. And I'm gonna consider it the first Marvel movie with a woman lead because I don't want to talk about Elektra ever again.
Her name's Elektra.
Like the tragedy. Your parents must have had a sense of humor.
Not really.
The 90s, Earth, my hometown. So we've got all the 90s stuff, you know? We've got Radio Shack, we've got Blockbuster, we've got quips on top of buddy cop movie jokes, on top of a young Samuel L. Jackson. That's pretty cool. Marvel has been flirting with this young CGI-ifying of characters before, but this is the first time we've really dedicated an entire movie's character to this kind of technology. We've had young Hank Pym, we've had young, Janet Von Dyne, but this is the first time we've really dug into it, and it's awesome. And kinda creepy.
You know how to fly this thing?
We'll see.
That's a yes or no question.
Yes.
Captain Marvel and Samuel L. Jackson, young Nick Fury, team up, and they have this kind of buddy cop relationship as they try to solve the problem, stop the Skrull invasion of Earth, and maybe along the way figure out a little bit about themselves. And in Captain Marvel's case, figure out her entire backstory. It's got a really excellent 90s soundtrack, really good effects, characters that I like hanging out with, and a villain that I really enjoyed hating. It's an action-packed Marvel thrill ride. I don't know what else you would really expect. I have a bunch of little nitpicky things about this movie, and again, maybe it's just me being a super nerd, but these things are weighing on me. It felt like watching this movie, I was missing something. It felt like watching this movie was... It felt like to me I was watching a movie that had been cut down, or altered, or rewritten one too many times. I don't know if it was the flashback, flash forward, flash sideways story structure that we were working with, or what it was, but it felt like I could never get comfortable in any scene. It felt like I was struggling to find space. Pun not intended. At times, it just kind of felt like to me that we were rushing to get to the finale so that we can have this big explosion fest, but it doesn't really feel like we've earned it.
Would you like to know what you really are?
But on the other hand, Brie Larson is an excellent actress, and I like seeing her work in a Marvel universe. I love her performances in Room and even Scott Pilgrim, and I wanted to see her as a fully fledged, 100% kick-ass superhero, and that's what we got. They set up a lot of stuff for her in this movie that I'm hoping will be paid off in the next one. But I know some people complain about this in other movies, but I'm really feeling it this time. This whole movie to me just feels like a trailer for Endgame. It feels like it's doing nothing for me but setting up the next movie.
I think I had a life here.
What aren't you telling me?
I I know we've delayed this movie a couple times. I know that we've rescheduled this movie a couple times, and it feels like it. This feels like a Phase 1 movie pushed into a Phase 3 movie. I'd put it right there next to Captain America 1 or Thor 1, where it has a lot of really cool ideas for future movies, and maybe one day we'll get there.
Aren't you the cutest little thing? Aren't you cute? And what's your name, huh?
Fury.
What's cute? I'll be back.
The cat has a lot of really interesting implications for the rest of the MCU. I have a lot of questions about that cat. Sam Jackson is really, really fun. I loved his characterization. I have even more questions about his relationship with said cat and how that works. I could nitpick this movie to death because I have a lot of nerdy questions about it, but on paper, at the end of the day, this is a fun adventure sci-fi movie that I enjoyed. Overall, I like this movie, but I don't love this movie. There's a lot I can nitpick about it. There's a lot that I could go into, but it's just kind of no fun, especially on the internet of today, where we get to either hate or love this thing and there's no in between. I'm completely in between on this movie. There's great ideas in this movie. There's great sequences in this movie, effects, acting, characterizations, and there's stuff that I wish could have just been done better.
This war is just the beginning.
I'm not gonna fight your war. I'm gonna end it.
If you're a Marvel Universe fan, if you're waiting very excitedly for Avengers Endgame, you've got to check this out. You've got to do your homework. It sets up what I assume is the next 10 years in the Marvel Cinematic Universe, and we got to see what that's about. So go check it out. Tell me what you thought down below. Thank you for watching Right at the Movies, and we'll see you next time.